Hello everybody and welcome back to the chassis variant series of myself, Critical Rocket, and here we are with the Phoenix Hawks. This is obviously one of the venerable mech designs of Battletech, one of the originals and also one of the unseen. It's one of the classic 45 tonners and has always been one of those mechs that I think for a lot of fans has been immediately identifiable with Battletech. PGOs did a great job with this. I thought it was a redesign. It was fairly good. Obviously, without being able to look exactly like the original Phoenix Hawk, it looks a damn sight better than I think the Phoenix TRO versions ever did, which made it look really bad. But yeah, the Phoenix Hawk, as a result, is one of those mechs that, much like the Warhammer and the Marauder and many others, had a lot of variants built over the years within the Battletech universe, and thus they had numerous redesigns and variants within Battletech. Now, PGO have covered a fairly good spread of Phoenix Hawk variants. There are a few here. This video is of the 3M, which is going to kind of cover the 3D and the 3K as well. And the main reason for that is because I've only done one video because all three builds are very similar to each other. The 3M here is 2 ER large, 2 medium pulse, a single machine gun, and an AMS system on the arm. I thought that was kind of interesting because the AMS was on the arm, because that's very rare in MechWarrior Online. It's usually a side torso, or the head, or CT. And this one you can only build on the Kuroi Kiri hero mech, which I think I misread it originally, so I had to buy the Kuroi Kiri. So I've completed the collection now of Phoenix Hawks, and it's very similar, as I said, to the 3D version. Is basically drops both of the machine guns and has 2 ER large, 2 medium pulses. And the curated version is basically 2 ER large and 2 medium pulses with the 2 machine guns. So they're virtually the same mech 3 times over, and I didn't really think doing 3 of basically the same video would be that interesting, to be honest. I think it would just be extra videos for the sake of extra videos, and I didn't really want to do that. But I can discuss them all in the sense of the fact that the original Phoenix Hawk is a single large laser with a couple of machine guns and some medium lasers. Its main punch was the fact that it was very agile, with the ability to jump onto high locations and use its large laser to stay at range, because it didn't have a huge amount of armor, being only 45 ton, so it had its agility to keep it alive. With the advent of lostech and being able to bring in things like XL engines and thus being able to add more weaponry, the Phoenix Hawk suddenly becomes a 45 tonner that's got some punch, and that's what these 3 versions really represent. You know, adding an extra large laser, be it a pulse or a ER or just a standard large laser, means that it's got double the firepower at range, and switching up the medium lasers to pulse versions for pretty much all 3 of them means that the mech can dump a lot of damage at close range as well. Rolling that on the tabletop was always very, very good. And it still, for the most part, keeps its jump jets intact because of the XL engine and such, and it can actually get a tiny bit more armor, though not by much. It's still a frail mech. But I've always liked the fact that the Phoenix Hawk is a great, fast laser boat with some very limited ballistics backup. You never take a Phoenix Hawk for the ballistics, so you always take it to be a kind of snipey mech, especially in MechWarrior Online, where you can use its large number of jump jets to get up to a high spot, which is seen in the next video. And if this is uploaded in order, which it probably won't, thanks YouTube, despite the fact that I will make it live in order, and it still orders them wrong on people's feed. I don't know why it does that. But yeah, I really, really liked the Phoenix Hawk when it first arrived. Obviously, one of the main weaknesses of the mech is the fact that the arms are pretty much where all its weapons are. So if you lose an arm, you're going to be losing a good chunk of your firepower. Very few of them actually have any kind of inbuilt torso-mounted weaponry. I believe the 1K actually has 2 CT mounted energy hardpoints. That's the only one you'll be able to do that on. But the rest of them, you're going to be stuck with a scenario that if you're not torso twisting enough to spread the damage, you risk very quickly losing a lot of firepower. So keep that in mind if you haven't run a Phoenix Hawk before. The other thing with the Phoenix Hawk is it's actually quite tall, because it stands quite upright compared to other mediums that you get in the same category, things like Blackjacks and Shadow Cats and stuff like that. They're not physically as tall as this mech is for its weight, so you do risk giving yourself away as well. It's just very strong profile as well. People can tell very quickly that it's a Phoenix Hawk, so keep that in mind. when you are playing the mech. It's very, very easy to spot at range. This build was also incredibly hot. I am running it with double heat sinks. I even got a couple in the engine, which I did bump up in the rating, and have a few spare to fill out the spare weight. And yeah, it's I know it's a hot map, but wow, it was a very, very hot mech. Did actually stand up to some of the hits it took though, because I think at one point I got glanced by a dual AC-20 Jaeger or something. That just shows how bad AC-20 hit reg is at times. Sometimes it's amazing and hit reg will just... See, there you go. All that did was just strip the armor off. It put me in orange CT, but realistically a dual AC-20 to the CT of any 45 tonner should pretty much take it out of action. But that, it was just like, nah, just face tanked it and ran off. Freaking weird PGI stuff. Things only PGI can do. So yeah, the match was just wrapping up. It was a good fight though. I mean, it felt like there was a bit back and forth. I like ones where there's a lot of motion, where you're changing firing position, you're trying to get around different angles. But yeah, I mean, hats off to the heavies and assaults on my team, because they really stood there and held them in position while the rest of us could sort of run around and get the kill shots. There you go. I finally overheated myself, but yeah, it was damn good match. I was really happy with this one, and as you guessed, Glorious Domination is going to be a win, but each one's a little bit different, especially the last one. Oh, the last one, Solaris City. PGI need to fix that map. So yeah, I would recommend trying out this one actually. As I said, you wouldn't have to build this one specifically. The 3D or the 3K can work just as well, because they're virtually the same builds. The two large lasers work really well if you got all the skills and stuff in heat management as well, maybe some extra heat sinks, however you want to play it. You can do a lot of damage with this thing and stay relatively safe, just staying at the back of the pack and just sort of picking your shots and burning through people. And for me, I actually did a decent amount of damage. I think I did like over 300 damage. I know for some people that's like, I cough and I've done 300 damage, but that's that one. Thanks for watching everybody, hope you have a good week, and I'll see you next time. Bye!